Hello, rail fans. Welcome to French Fried Trains. It's Monday, February 1st, 2021. We headed out to Leo Street in the morning, and it would end up being an awesome rail fanning day with a lot of trains. We didn't wait long for the first train to come. Check that out. 3 AC44 CWs, 2 in the Y&2 paint scheme, and the trailing unit is a flared Radiator Sd70mac. An awesome catch. There's not many flared Radiator Sd70macs left in service on CSX, so it's always awesome to catch one. And we were lucky. This is the second time we caught one this week. We have a lot of trains to get through in this video, so we'll be skipping around. Just a big manifest on a gloomy, snowy day. Some interesting tank cars here. I see white with a black stripe in the middle all the time, but not too often you see black with a white stripe. And a single tank car brings up the rear of the train. A little while after that, a Southbound came in, and he stopped just short of me. I was wondering why he was waiting, because sometimes when they stop, they're doing switching operations at Needmore Yard. 20 minutes later, and the train was still stopped there. As it would turn out, he was waiting for a northbound to clear all the tracks in downtown Dayton. Soon enough, the northbound would arrive. An SD42 leads, followed by an SD40-3 rebuild. This was J782 coming into Needmore Yard. And you hear that horn? That Southbound that was waiting has the clearance to start his move south. Here come the locomotives. Unfortunately, we're on the wrong side. A pair of SD43s lead the Southbound. It's unfortunate that we were on this side for this meet, because the Southbound has a loaded continuous rail train on the front. We try to peek through the cars here so we can see the loaded continuous rail train. The Southbound is J783, so 2 counterpart trains meeting at the same time. Awesome. Here comes the unloader at the end of the continuous rail train portion. and the bottom end of J783 clears long before 782 gets out of our way. 782 would go on for another 3 minutes after this, so we're going to jump ahead. And check this out. The final car on the train is an old chassis system covered hopper. Always awesome to catch a chassis system still out on the rails. This is the third chassis system covered hopper we've caught this week. Very, very cool. After this train, I headed back home. It was about lunchtime anyway. But then word on Facebook said there was a train coming with a Canadian Pacific locomotive. So I headed back out, and right when I got there and came over the tracks, there was already a headlight of a train coming. I had just enough time to hop out and catch it. Just a single ET44AH on the head of this Autorack train. This train was Q205 heading south. He also has a second unit running distributed power. And some car covering graffiti on that one. And now here comes the second locomotive. And there it goes, another ET44AH. This train seemed to go on and on and on. We have an old Grand Trunk car here. And now we see an old Burlington Northern car. This one here is missing a bit of paneling. And finally, the end of this Autorack train goes by us. After that, we waited about another 45 minutes to an hour for the next train. A single ES44 ACH leads this southbound manifest train. And just like the train before it, this one also has a second locomotive running its distributed power. This one was Q507. Some interesting graffiti there. And a colorful covered hopper sandwiched in here. Charlie Brown and Snoopy painted on that boxcar. And there goes the distributed power in ES44 ACH. A Procore cylindrical covered hopper there. And some slabs on bulkhead flat cars. And finally, the bottom of the train goes by. And about half an hour after that, the train I originally went back out for finally arrived. A single Canadian Pacific ES44 AC leads this train. This was an awesome catch for me and the reason I came back out, because it's probably been a year, maybe even a year and a half, since I've caught a Canadian Pacific locomotive. This was K821, empty phosphate hoppers heading south. An old family line system car here. This train frequently carries very old, very beat up and patch covered hoppers. And finally the end of the train goes by. I had a few things to do on my phone, and then I was going to head home. But before I could even get what I wanted done, another train arrived, about 15 minutes later. Another Autorack train, led by an ES44 ACH and an ET44 AH. And here's a yellow Conrail Autorack. And some more car covering graffiti here. And the door was left open on this Autorack. Here, a semi was in the parking lot behind me as the train went by. Well, folks, that's all for this episode of French Fried Trains. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video wherever you can. Everyone have a great week, and stay safe out there, rail fans.